Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Pete. You're watching Pete J. Cooper, the Motor Builder, and have I got something great for you today. It's this one, the Mercedes-Benz W196R, the Stirling Moss Formula One car. And we've got some, this is a nice great leaflet to show you. So it's 19 centimeters wide, 50 centimeters long, and we've got this great big poster that I may put up, I don't know. And let's see what we have here. On the back we have the Agora Promise and the few stages that you can get into. I think it's 3. So have a look at that. Then what can the car do? Blue and white plate, racing seat, replica engine, 8-cylinder engine, Stirling Moss livery, and die-cast metal parts. A streamlined silver masterpiece, the Mercedes-Benz W196R was designed for the 1955 racing season, leaving its competitors in the wake, with 9 victories and fast laps, 8 pole positions and 12 Grand Prix races. Pole position in 12 Grand Prix races and 2 World Championships titles. The 196R is one of the fastest racing cars in history. Well, that might not be true for the moment, but we find out. This is a great car to build. It's as I told you, a new build, and both IXO and Agora Models are bringing it to us, so we can do it. Agora Models is bringing it in 11 stages, 1 to 4, packs 1 to 4, and that's what you see right here. And after that, from pack 5 on, you'll get a monthly one. If you can't wait for that, you can get the IXO one, because that is one pack in one go. But I didn't want to do that because I haven't got a money tree, so this is the way I do it. And I'd love to get started. What I will do, because we've got, as you can see right here, in pack 1 to 4, that's one thing. We've got stages 1 to 13B, and 12 and 13 are wheels. There's 2 ways we can do those wheels. It's either completely the easy way, and can I show you? Yeah, I can show you. Then we get that. These are the spokes then. Or this way is we put them on one by one, and I think that is the nicest way to do it, but that will take quite some time, and you've seen it with the Jaguar. It's a very nice thing to do, but it's a hassle. What is really nice with this build is we get, I think we have almost all outside parts of the car. So that's one, and that's the front, that's more of the front, that's more of the front, and that's what we're starting with. And the back of the car, almost the whole part of the car, we've got quite a bit of that in, and we've got a whole box with a lot of different stages in there, packed in plastic. What we did get as well is a nice big screw box with all the screws in there. I did split them up in metal and non-metal and plastic screws. It's easier to grab them then. Otherwise you have a 3 bags in one box. As you can see there, I'll leave one there and the other one right there. And we're getting the build guides from Agora Models. We can always switch to the ones from IXO in the right language, of course, but I'm going to start them from Agora Models and see how we get to get on with that. So let's get straight into this. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this, but you bear with me. I may break this up in a few stages. I think I'm going to do the wheel stage, the 4 stages of the wheels in one movie clip, and stages 1 to 5 and 6 to 11 both in a different clip as well. I don't know how much time that's going to be, but we'll find out and we'll see how that works. We're starting with something scratchy, so we're gonna take that out, and we've got a few things that we did Agora put on the paper. So this is funny. We get an IXO screwdriver. These are the first parts that we want that we have to put together, that we're not going to touch just now, but we're going to start with putting the emblem on. Have a look at, there are locating holes and there's a screw hole. We get an AP screw out. Some of these packs have different colored screws in it, white or silver colored, so have a good look at that. We're going to put the first screw in with this screwdriver and see how that works, and we're probably going to go back to our own screwdriver, and that's what we put on the Mercedes emblem. We take that one out and put that on right there. God, I gotta get used to the way they do this. We're using black ones, and these are the first metal screws, so we're getting the oil out as well. And these are the nicest one with the back that is it's not connected, or it is connected but it's not can be twisted with that part twisting with you in your. So we put that one in, and we put that one in with that screw. These are CM screws. Now we're going to push those two together, sorry, the other way around, that, and then push them together, and we're going to push it into the position. Can you, yeah, you can see that right there, and we are going to put some screws on the side there. So right there we're going to put some screws, and they are the CMs as well. Always remember, when you're screwing in just one screw, it's fine just to screw it in tight straight away, but if you have more screws, put them in lightly first until all screws are in and you know that the orientation is fine, and then tighten up all the screws. Right there, it's right under this one. And that is stage 1 done. So we're not doing anything with the steering wheel at the moment, so I'm going to put it back into the blister that it came from. So this is how it's going to work. Getting that box out and getting the right blister out, and in this case it's number 1.-2. So this is what we have in this stage. You can hardly see it, but this is the stuff that we're using in this stage. So we're getting that one out and that one, put it on like so, and then we put screws in, and they are the AMs. Then we put all of them on like so. I've made sure that the orientation is good, and now we're going to put the rest of the screws on. So this is what we have, with 6 AM screws in there, and they're in like that properly. So we turn it around, and we're going to work on this side with these ones, and they're going to go on like so, and then the other one is, of course, we're putting 2 more lovely screws in, and these are black as well. There we go, you heard it go in, and then we've got that. So we're putting this one on. This is a very tiny part, it's hard for me to show you. Right there, can you see that? There's a bracket there, yeah, there, and we're putting one of those black BMs in there. We get those 2 out, and we're putting this one on, and we're putting those on like so, and then we're screwing in a CM on each side. The CM screw is going in like so. It's not closing completely, but I will leave it on there. So we've got something to help us do that. There's a tiny little hole there, and it goes through that one right there in the top. There's a tiny little hole, and now we need to get it on the other one as well, and that's the hardest part, the first fiddliness on this build. There, we've got it. That pulls it down a little bit, but not all the way. You can open up, but it pulls it back. There you've got that spring right there. We've been told, and we're on page 6, that, and I'll let you know, that this one and that one, not to put them in, 2K and 2J, those very tiny ones, not to put them in, because we are getting new ones. They need to be pushed in very neatly, and we've got a rounded one which will go in the lower point there. Let's push that in, and we've got this one which is, you'll see in a moment, it's got a D-shaped, that doesn't stay in very well. We think we're putting a screw on the other side. Yes, we are, an AP screw. So this is what we have, and we've got 2 parts to put in there, which are these little things that you can see there, or hardly see. Apparently they're not good enough. Quality control has said we're not doing that, and so we're putting them back in the screw box and see what we're going to do next. And that is this stage done. So we're going to stage number 3. Okay, these are the parts that we're using in this stage. So we're getting this part out and that part out, and we're putting them together on these holes here, and we are using 2 DM screws, and I think they want us to push that in, but it falls out and will only stay together when we're putting that on. So let's put that to the side and get those DMs out that we have to put in there. So we've got that on, then we're putting this one on, and we're putting that one on too. You saw that jump. Pushing them together so we get that, and we're pushing, getting 2 screws in there, there, and they are also DMs. There we go. We've got those 2 together. We're putting that lovely thing on, and then we're putting this one on, but the other way around, like so, and we're screwing in from underneath, and we put a screw in there, that's EM screw, and it's all together like so. Then we're putting this to the side, getting the steering wheel out again. Yeah, we pushed it in. There's no certain way that has to be done. Just put them, make sure they are in those 2 holes. Then we turn this around and put that one, and then we've got 4 screws to put on right smack on the sides there, 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 and there, and they are the FM, and that is what we have with all those screws in, FM screws, as I said. So we're putting that to the side, getting that one out, pushing this one over like so, then getting that one out. Now we're pushing it from this side, so we've pushed it in from that side with the, doesn't matter, they're holding it like that at the moment, so let's keep that in mind so we know what's going on. There we are. They're not putting it on straight away, but we're putting it on the big one. We're putting that one over. As you can see, it moves about. So we're starting with the 2 BMs, and they're using black screws. There aren't any other color screws. And we're going to the other side, doing the same thing. In this case, it's really important to put a little bit of oil on that, so it screws in much easier. And we're going to put this one here, getting my Vaseline out. We're going to then do that on the other side as well. Just makes it easier for these parts to together and move together. There we go, that moves quite easily. Yeah, we're doing the same thing on the other side. So this is what we have at the moment, which can be moved like so. That little thing, I don't know if we're using or where we're using it, but I can't find it just yet. So I will put it back and I will have a good look at if I've missed something. Ah, I have. Yep, got it. Wow. So that little thing is supposed to go there. You have to have a good look at these build guides, because they're putting in stuff and sometimes you miss something. But this is stage 3 done. Careful, there is a very tiny part there, and these other parts are metal plastic, and then this little tiny little thing, let's put that in a cup and see what we do with that. We're getting this one out and that one, and we're putting them on like so, and there's nothing to hold it in, so we have to search from the other side where the screw holes are, and we're going to put 2 AP screws in there. So we've got that on, that one on right there. Now we're going to get that one out with that little point going into that little slot that is there, and most probably 2 more AP screws. How did I guess? And that little thing is now on right there. Oh my goodness, we're getting that very tiny little thing out. Now this is where you don't see which side goes in, but I am going to presume, because it's big, that it's this way around. You can hardly see it, but that little thing just went in. Slot this in like so, and we're getting those. All right, we put that later on, and we put them onto there because there is a little slot there that I thought I was supposed to use, but we're putting it on like so and getting 2 DMs out. So we've got it like so, together like so, with that thing on it. Let's see, this slots on somehow. 2 more DM screws with oil on the tip, of course, because that is so much easier to put it in. So we're putting in 1, 2 DMs. There you go. This is what we have at this point. We've got this small screwdriver, which is probably PH00, but as you saw the last time, I don't like to use them. No, this is a PHO. I don't like to use them because they're too small for my hands, and I think getting your own screwdrivers that you feel happy with is just the thing to do. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in stage. Oh god, these little tiny parts. So we've got this thing and these, and we're going to put them together. Okay, so we've got that. Push that in a little bit more. Wow, this is hard for me to show. This is what it is at the moment, and I'm going to put something on that end there, but it's so bloody tiny. There we go, it's in. Get my super glue out, my favorite glue out, and put some on that. Then we're going to push it on at the end here. Like so. Something I missed. There we go. That's in as well. And then on that same side, we're going to put a hose in, or a pipe, whatever it is, into that point. There we go. And it should be on like that. Like that. And again, we've just put on that tiny little thing. It's plastic on plastic, so it's fantastic for putting a bit of my super favorite glue in there. And we've got 1 more golden piece, and that goes on right there. push that in a little bit further, and this is what we have when we're done. All right, everything is still in neatly and properly, and that is what we have. This one is on, and that's this stage and this part of pack 1 to 4 done. Well, that's quite something, as you can see right there. These are the parts that we all put together in stages 1 to 5, and this is how far I go, because the recordings are already 1 hour and 7 minutes, so I need to reduce this to about 20 minutes, and I probably can with this, but not with when I go on. So thank you very much for joining me. Please like, subscribe and pass it on, and do join me for the next part 2 of this beautiful build of the pack 1 to 4 of the Mercedes W196R. See you next time.